So I checked out Game Night like 2 weeks ago, and I've just entirely forgot to make a video or anything on it, so here it is. Here it is. Here's the video. I love board games, like, a lot. Like, this is only part of what I've got going on. That's my favorite one. Talisman's awesome. Descent's fun, too. But yeah. And this movie did look like kind of, a little bit different, a lot of fun. And I was right. It was enjoyable, but it was on the same vein as, like, Ready Player One. It was enjoyable, but it wasn't special. There were definitely a lot of flaws with a lot of good. The main thing was a bit of a different plot. I mean, centering it around a game night like this with a whole kidnap kind of scenario, and if you've watched the trailer, that's the plot. It's different. It's not necessarily your same old Hollywood go around with a love story stuff or dramas and whatnot. It was a bit different, and I like that. I like the plot overall. I mean, it has a lot of holes, and we'll get into those, but it's still enjoyable enough and different enough that it actually took me for a nice ride. This movie is twisty. There are lots of twists, and some of them are very obvious, and it's like, oh yeah, of course it's going to happen like that. But there was one or two that I was like, oh, okay, that's a bit different. I didn't necessarily expect that. I expected, say, maybe that character that was involved in the twist to be involved in a different way, but not in the way that they were, kind of thing, if you understand what I'm saying. It was, there was a couple that really did kind of catch me almost off guard in the way that they were presented. Like, I knew it was going to be like a twist or fake or something like that, but how the twist was done and who did it surprised me a little bit, which was nice because it kept me on my toes. I was like, okay, well, this movie can do things that maybe are a little bit different enough that it can surprise me a little bit, which is good. It's not like your M. Night Shyamalan bullshit twist or your super predictable every fucking plot twist ever kind of twist that you see all the time. Like, oh, my mother was the robot. It's like, yeah, no, of course it was, or whatever, right? It was different in that aspect, which I also appreciated. My biggest problem with it was really the characters. They were so flat. There was only two standout performances that I can really attribute to, which was, what's her name? Rachel McAdams? Yeah, Rachel McAdams, who played Jason Bateman's wife. I forget the character name, but it's fine. You know who Rachel McAdams is and Jason Bateman. It's nice to see Jason Bateman in something, but I didn't find his performance was overly good in this film. It was adequate to his character, but I wouldn't say it was, like, good. Rachel McAdams did play really good as the wife. Her mannerisms and attitude and stuff like that actually did go along nicely with how her character is supposed to be, and she kept it, along nicely so she didn't break character into something. And there was a nice little minor arc for her. The second character, which is kind of more of a minor character in the film, which is a weird cop guy named Gary, who his wife left him. It was part of this group, but they all thought he was weird, so they kind of exiled him after they split up. Really, really creepy character, like very strange and uncomfortable, very awkward whenever he's on screen, which is the whole point of the character, and Jesse Plemons plays him and does a really great job. I thought he was done really, really well. He's super, super awkward, and it comes off really, really good for what they wanted that character to be, and he does have a nice kind of arc anyway. He doesn't really get out of his creepy, but, there's a whole, like, oh, we accept you now, Gary, kind of thing, you know what I mean? And he kind of comes out of his shell a little bit more, I guess. But he was a really fascinating character, and probably the funniest character in it, because every time he's on screen, it's just so goddamn awkward, and he plays it off so well. So, applaud to those two. Otherwise, characters were, like I said, super flat. There's the token black couple. There's this fucking stupid friend guy that just brings chicks. And, of course, the chick that he brings this time is the one that he's actually kind of fallen for. And, oh, she's hesitant because she knows what's going on kind of thing. Of course, right? And then I think they end up together. I don't fucking remember. And then, of course, Jason Bateman and Rachel McAdams as a couple are the way too good at everything that's going on, way too comfortable with this kind of couple. Yeah, it was... The characters themselves overall were very flat and very obvious of what was going to happen and very stereotypical for this kind of a film. Now I'm going to jump into some spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled, if you haven't seen it yet, I do recommend watching it, just for the record, if this is where you're going to stop watching the video. It is fun. I wouldn't go to the movies and pay for it, but if it's on like Netflix or maybe on demand for really cheap or something like that, it's definitely worth a watch. But yeah, spoiler territory. So there's a lot of plot holes that drive me up the wall. The first one is, of course, Jason Bateman's brother, the rich brother. If you watch the trailers, he's the one who's like, we're going to do game night a little differently, and whoever wins gets my car. Of course, he's the one that gets kidnapped. The trailer's like, one of us is going to... It's him. It's fucking him. Of course it's him. And the twist of, he set up this fake thing, but it's actually real is kind of lame. It's a pretty lame twist, but whatever. Also, later on, the whole idea is that Jason Bateman's brother is this black arms dealer fuckface who's supposed to get this list to this guy that has a list of everybody in the witness protection program because this guy wants to go and kill them or something. I don't remember the total thing. But anyway, Jason Bateman's brother gets it, but he's still pissed at him, so he kidnaps him or whatever, and is gonna kill him. So they have to find the list because they don't have it when Jason Bateman's brother gets kidnapped. So they go find it. So the list is in this Fabergé fake egg, which is in a safe in this mansion of this rich guy. First things first, they get into the mansion, they steal the egg, and they get out, and it's like a maybe 5-minute sequence, and it's ridiculous. So first of all, these knuckle fucking chuckers get into this mansion. First of all, this rich dude's mansion. I would presume he works for FBI or CIA, or at the very least he's really high up in some evil gang organization. So where the hell is his security guards, all of this kind of stuff? It's not there. They easily get through because somebody drives through the gate, they walk through the fucking gate and go in the front door of this fucking mansion while they're having this rich people party. Where's the security for this rich people party? It's a rich people party. So what they're doing downstairs is having this illegal fight club, essentially, right? And the Fabergé egg is in plain fucking view because they're all goddamn stupid. They manage to steal the egg, and they don't know that it's fake at this point, but they steal this fucking egg, and they get chased around by one of these boxer guys, and eventually get out, and that's it. There's no pursuing them. So it makes absolutely no sense why, one, this guy, even if he is a criminal, not FBI or CIA, doesn't have this egg more securely locked down, for one, more securely guarded, and why his whole mansion and party and stuff while he's doing all this doesn't have better security. Even for a criminal organization, they're going to have armed guards. Where is it? These nobodies walk into your mansion party completely unnoticed, steal your fucking egg, and leave, and then you don't even pursue them. So huge plot hole there about just general security over something so valuable, because whether he thinks it's the egg or he thinks it's the list for the protection program people, both of those are insanely valuable. They're talking this egg up like it's the most valuable thing on earth. And then I imagine to the right criminal organization, a witness protection program list would be worth millions and millions and millions of dollars. So hey, whatever. Another plot hole is Jason Bateman's character really early on, the first part of his brother being kidnapped, find his brother, and his wife, at this point they don't know that it's real and not fake, has a gun that's real. She fires it into the air, gets scared, drops it, and it shoots Jason Bateman's character, luckily for him, in the arm. One, the way he gets shot and he moves back is really dumb. You can tell they did that just so they could move back and get the makeup right or the effects right for the hole in his arm. That was pretty lame. I don't think anybody getting shot would just go, ah. They'd be like, oh fuck, you're getting shot. This isn't a little gun. This is a fucking revolver. This gun's gonna hurt. So that was dumb. But the big thing is they only seem to remember that he has this injury when it's convenient for him. So when there's the scene in the trailer where he's bleeding and the dog, he has to clean off the dog, that scene there, before that, you fucking didn't know he had a fucking bullet in his fucking arm. He's running around and moving around and he's not complaining about it. And even after that scene, They don't really do much about it until she tries to take the bullet out of his arm. Like, they go, and it's a kind of funny, Swedish scene. You know, she buys cheap alcohol and tweezers from a fucking corner store, and then in the back of this corner store trying to take a bullet out of his arm, right? It's kind of funny, but, like, they forget about it till that scene, and then after that, he's still gonna be injured. He still has had a bullet in his arm. He's got a hole in his arm, right? Like, he's still gonna be in pain. Totally forget about it, except for those scenes. Also, if you look at the scene with the dog, and when you watch the movie, you understand more. He bleeds a lot. Like, there is a lot of blood, because it has to be enough blood to soak through. So first of all, he got shot on the front of his arm, so like the forearm area here, right? And the way the blood's soaking is through his elbow. So obviously the blood has, the way he has it, has had to have somehow leaked down this way, so down his arm, soaked his elbow, dripped enough into his shirt to soak it enough to drip out. That's a lot of blood for a guy that, generally doesn't get shot and isn't exactly like, buff macho man who can handle that kind of thing. He probably would have passed out at some point before they actually took the bullet out of his arm and bandaged it properly. Why hasn't he passed out from blood loss, or at the very least the pain? Bullets hurt, man. Like, they're not no joke. There's a reason why we use them to kill each other. They're pretty, ow, right? So, like, that scene alone, if you look at the amount of blood that's on the dog and on the floor and in his shirt, like, he probably would have passed out from blood loss at some point during the movie. But he doesn't even, like, there's no mention of him feeling lightheaded, at the very least, nothing. So that was kind of okay, you need to get this treated, and they're not. They're just using it for gags, and it kind of breaks the realism a little bit. And finally, another plot hole that I noticed at the very end, I guess they're not really plot holes, they're just things that I noticed and I'm nitpicking. At the very end, the brother lives. They rescue everybody lives, and it's fine and happy. They're visiting the brother, I think it's for Christmas or something, for another game night anyway, and his brother is living in this shitty fucking low-income housing thing, and he's got like an ankle bracelet, obviously, because he's part of a fucking crime gang, or was, and he's on house arrest for like 2 years. So first of all, he's been a part and high up in this criminal gang for years. Why are they not like interrogating the shit out of him to find all of these guys and take them out? Or at the very least, if they're not going to do that, doesn't matter what he did. He didn't even do anything. Jason Bateman and them did. He should be in jail. He should be in a federal prison, Guantanamo, fucking whatever that one is that people complain about all the time in like Montana or wherever, like high security, like lockdown prison for the rest of his life. And that's like them being nice to him instead of just shooting him on the spot, right? And just forgetting about it, pretending he never existed. Because they could totally do that. Try him in Texas and hang him. Like, this guy is responsible for who knows how many deaths. Who knows how much he sold to these like weapons and drugs and fuck knows what else to these organizations. He said he sold it all. So why are they giving him two years house arrest and then letting him go? And he says that he kept the list for the witness protection program and sold it for like $10 million to some guy, gave them all heads up that these guys have the list now, and is now rich, and once he's done, he's just going to go and live a life of luxury again. And it's like, how the hell did they not, like, immediately try to find this list off of you and tell you if, like, anything happens to them or any calls come, they know it's going to be him, and he's going to get arrested again. They know where he is. They know what he would have done in that case. Why would you risk that? They're obviously going to be watching your every move for the rest of your life. If all of a sudden you get off house arrest and then you're living a life of luxury in a mansion or wherever, whatever, they're going to get suspicious, they're going to investigate you, and then they're probably just going to take you out. So, ending of this movie isn't all happy-dory. He leaves after house arrest, and then they find out, and they kill him. Because they can't risk it, obviously, because he's fucking lying to them. Like, it was so stupid that they would let him go, because he didn't do jack shit. He didn't save anybody. He was the one that got kidnapped. He was a part of all of this. It was all his fault. Literally all his fault. I don't understand why they gave him 2 years fucking house arrest and didn't like bother to say, hey, we know you know about that list. Like, if you tell anybody, if we find out that it's been leaked in any way, you're not only the first person we're going to, but you're going to be the first person we shoot over it. Like, I mean, besides those issues, though, it is a fun movie. Don't let what I just said ruin it for you. It is actually quite a bit of fun. It's a decent movie. Like, I would say like a 6 out of 10. I mean, it's like Ready Player One. It's not awful. Like, the stuff that's bad is overlookable because the plot and the story is fun enough that you can get a good chuckle out of it, and that's really it. It's, if you want to see it, like I said before the spoilers, go see it on demand or rent it, or if it's on Netflix or like one of your other streaming services, who knows who else is going to pick it up. Definitely give it a watch. It's a lot of fun. You know, order a pizza, some pop, maybe a couple drinks. You know, have some fun. Maybe play a board game while you're watching it. Who knows, right? It's a fun enough film that you should definitely give it a go, but definitely not like Oscar worthy or worth going to like the theater and paying your $15 or whatever to go see in IMAX or whatever. Definitely not worth that, but a fun film nonetheless. So I would recommend it if you're looking for a little bit of fun. And that's it for me. Thank you much for watching. Thank you to the quite a few subscribers we've gotten over the last few days. Thank you. Hello. If you want to leave a like, if you want to go on the link and check out my other stuff, Twitter, I've got that going on. And of course, if you want to share any of the content that you like on this channel, please share it around. The more people we get viewing it, the more amped I am to do these and stuff. I'm going to watch Deadpool 2, so that'll actually be out very, very shortly. Just kind of like a quick look, kind of like we did with Avengers on Deadpool 2. I'll take a look at that and let you know what I think of it. Other than that, thank you much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.